Hello and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain and I'm your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7-day-a-week 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 261 of our trek, and yesterday we investigated the 3 ways to accept criticism with grace. When taking difficult trails, the need for rest is important, so today we are going to consider 5 refreshing benefits of rest. I know that I need to better apply these truths in my life. If you do miss any of the Wisdom Trek episodes, please go to wisdom-trek.com to listen to them and to read the daily journal. We are recording our podcast from our studios at Home 2 in Charlotte, North Carolina. As mentioned previously, we are going to be in Arizona for 4 days, and by the time this episode is released, we should be back and I should be starting on a new series. These days may be somewhat shorter, as we will take quick daily treks on some short trails. Let's head out on our trail for today and learn the 5 refreshing benefits of rest. Now, I have to admit, this is one area that I still have difficulties. I am a driven and disciplined person, and I realize that I push too far and hard at times. Slowing down can be scary when you are used to running on the world's treadmill. At times, I have avoided rest because subconsciously, I am fearful what I might discover. The fear of missing out is also a very real factor. There is always so much to do, and it feels like so little time to accomplish the task at hand. I do realize that it boils down to my choice. And I know that there's no need to be afraid. God loves us and wants His best for us. As 1 John chapter 4, verse 18 tells us, such love has no fear. Perfect love expels all fear. If we are afraid, it is for fear of punishment, and this shows that we have not fully experienced His perfect love. Rest is something that we are designed to do. God has made both a purpose and a plan for it. So maybe it would be helpful today to consider some benefits of rest. The first of the 5 points is rest reorients our thinking pattern. When we are weary and fatigued, it is the perfect time for the enemy to sow the lies and weave the blanket of discouragement that we just want to curl up under. Rest brings our thinking into focus and allows us to see clearly what God says about what we are facing in His Word and through His past faithfulness. Rest brings the reality of God's strength and provisions into view. We need to remind ourselves that He is the victor. We need this truth so we can wield it against the enemy taunts. Rest enables us to see the devil clearly as he really is, which is a liar, a cheat, an accuser, and more. The second point is that rest refreshes us. Like a sip of cold water on a hot day to the thirsty, we'll never know how much that we need rest until we put our feet up. Worry and striving will fade away as we allow God to be our source of all things. When we give our mind and heart some wiggle room, we discover peace and strength to open our hands and release the burdens that weigh us down. I know that I need to take the words of Christ to heart in Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 and 29. Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle of heart, and you will find rest for your souls." The third point today is rest recharges our batteries. We can simply become worn out. Stress, worry, busyness, and overcommitments, all of this wears us down. We need to recharge, and only resting can accomplish that. There comes a time when we just have to say, that's it, I'm taking the time to rest. Times of rest are never wasted. God is God. He is at work even when we do sleep. Resting allows us to admit that we need His strength. The fourth point to rest is, rest helps us to refocus. Fatigue skews our outlook until we are staring into the face of the deadly D's. That is doubt, discouragement, defeat, and despair. Rest helps us to readjust our focus so we can see the situation more clearly. We gain new perspective as we are quiet in God's presence, immersed in His Word and surrounded by His care. And the fifth point for today is the rest revives us. Once we succumb to the weariness, our response of things to do and places to go is apathy. We don't have the energy. Our margins are worn thin and we would rather just hibernate and avoid it all. Rest revives us with energy that we lack so that we can flourish anew and get excited about life again. We discover that our creativity returns as well as our spring to our step. God's instructions can revive us as we are reminded in Psalms chapter 19 verse 7, the instructions of the Lord are perfect, reviving the soul. So I want to ask you today, how have you benefited by resting? I would love to hear about times when you decided that enough was enough. Do you rest willingly, or are you reluctant to surrender? Leave me a comment at wisdom-trek.com. It might just help me and the others that struggle to take the rest that is needed. Time out for rest accomplishes far more than we can realize. The benefits of rest are often explained away when we are running 100 miles an hour and have the world chasing us. But when we do rest, we allow God to capture us in His embrace and give us just what we need to run the rest of the race with His strength that He provides. So let me ask you a couple final questions. Do you need to rest? What changes will you make in your life to make sure that you take time for rest? Email me at guthrie@venturecg.com and let me know how you're doing. Tomorrow we will be back on the trails as we search for more nuggets of wisdom. So encourage your family and friends to join us and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. That will finish our podcast for today. As you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, I encourage you to help us promote Wisdom Trek in the following 4 ways. Number 1, leave us feedback about the podcast at wisdom-trek.com so that we can continually improve. Second, on your smartphone, subscribe to iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, SoundCloud, or Stitcher so that the podcast will be downloaded to you automatically each day. Third, on your computer or if you have an iPhone or iPad, leave us a rating and review at iTunes. This will help to spread the word about Wisdom Trek so that others can join us. And number 4, most importantly, please share Wisdom Trek with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person as you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us. The journal for today's trek can be found at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, you are my friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.